What makes you human? Is it your ability to think? The emotions you feel? The memories you keep? Or the fact that you can even question your own awareness? If something feels real, does it make it so? Or is it just a well-designed comfort? This is the identity crisis that inhabits the world of Blade Runner, a futuristic dystopian reality where many of the things that we take for granted have been forgotten. The cities are overcrowded, animals have become rare, the food sources are questionable, and the weather is increasingly unwelcoming. Many have decided to live in colonies off-world, leaving most of the unwealthy or sickly behind. The only silver lining to be found in this bleak outlook is the advancements of technology that shine through the decay, a hopeful light that gave way to the creation of replicants, bioengineered androids built to serve and fulfill our different needs. But this novelty brings certain uncomfortable questions to the surface. In today's video, we will be exploring the expanded world of Blade Runner and how it presents characters struggling in a reality that makes them question themselves and what it means to be human.
May I ask you a personal question?
Sure.
Have you ever retired a human by mistake?
The first movie introduces us to Rick Deckard, a Blade Runner meant to hunt down rogue replicants that would illegally find themselves hiding on Earth. A hard-boiled-esque detective that has retired his fair share of artificial beings and has no problem with continuing to do so. Or at least, that's where the story begins. Deckard's journey throughout the film is meant to be taken from a place of complete certainty to a state of internal twilight, and this uncertain state is evoked with the balance of light and shadow in the world. The film noir aesthetics, darkened rooms, harsh lights, obstructed views by smoke, smog, or rain, the light peeking through the Venetian blinds are all meant to accent an atmospheric mystery, an image not fully formed, a truth unfolding, or remaining obscured. Here the uncertainty is initially tied to the case of the missing replicants, but it's truly meant to represent Deckard's own increasingly unclear state of mind, the self-doubt this journey will make him experience, one based on the authenticity of emotion. Deckard has no problems retiring replicants because he views them as man-made creations that only copy life but don't harbor actual human complexities.
Replicants are like any other machine. They're either a benefit or a hazard. If they're a benefit, it's not my problem.
The expression retiring is also a term that denotes a certain lack of sympathy. It's as if they're referring to an object that has outlived its use, but for replicants, it would be considered murder. Deckard's perspective begins to change when he gets to know Rachel, an advanced replicant with implanted memories that is not fully aware of her own artificiality. She manages to emotionally confuse the main character. His resistance towards her is softened by her reaction to the news that she's a replicant. He can't help but pity her situation, but it soon develops into empathy. She questions if there's anything genuine about herself. When she's playing the piano, she mentions she remembers lessons, but isn't sure if those memories are hers or someone else's. He answers,
You play beautifully.
affirming her personhood, which is a contrast to his initial stance.
She's beginning to suspect, I think.
Suspect? How can it not know what it is?
Deckard recognizes Rachel's humanity, not only because of her very apparent ability to have feelings, but also because of his own emotional response towards her. It blurs his definition of what is real, and it ultimately leads him to question his own authenticity. This is even explored several years later, when he's being told that perhaps the reason he fell for Rachel was because it was by design. But Deckard responds,
I know what's real.
Deckard might question his own humanity, but what isn't up for debate is that his emotions for Rachel will always feel real.
I've never retired something that was born before.
What's the difference?
To be born is to have a soul, I guess.
Are you telling me no?
The world of Blade Runner is one where the characters find themselves with limited agency. One way of manifesting this is by the brutal weather the characters are forced to survive in, a situation that's just getting worse and more toxic, and yet they have no real way of controlling it. Another is by the constant intruding lights of the city. The shafts of light represent the invasion of privacy by a supervising force, a form of control. You're never sure who it is, but even in the darkened seclusion of your home, unless you pull your shades down, you're going to be disturbed at one time or another. In Blade Runner 2049, the only character that has a semblance of control is Wallace, the inventor of the new, more compliant version of replicants. That's why Wallace's lab and office are warm and inviting, a contrast to everything in the rest of the somber, chaotic, smog-filled exterior. But this is also presented with the character of Kay, another Blade Runner, a replicant that's built to obey its superiors and hunt down its own kind. He's kept on a short leash by being constantly tested to make sure his emotions haven't strayed him off the path of compliance.
Do you dream about being interlinked?
Interlinked.
What's it like to hold your child in your arms, interlinked?
He's made to take orders and to execute them without question. But things start to change when he's ordered to hunt down a child born from a replicant. Much like Deckard, Kay's journey leads him down a path of self-doubt, where every revelation is reassessing who he is, tempting him with a forbidden dream. The case he's on is confirming his memories are real, and that leads him to believe that he might be the child he's looking for.
Born, not made. Hidden with care.
In reality, that's what he wants. We can see it in the way he plays house with his artificial girlfriend. He wants to be loved, to be needed, to have a name, to become
A real boy now.
This is presented with the cinematography and the use of scale. A small silhouette, looking for his place in the world, questioning his relationship with his surrounding and the people around him. He's treated like a dog in the service of humans, and he's hated by replicants for obeying their commands. He just doesn't seem to fit anywhere. But if he was human, then that would change everything. That's why it's a punch to the gut when he finds out the memories he holds don't belong to him. His new identity is taken away, and he's left with an emptied out silhouette.
You imagined it was you. Oh, you did.
Throughout the movie, Kay hasn't really been able to have agency. He was either following his superior's orders, being used by Wallace, or being motivated by memories that weren't his. And now, to add insult to injury, he's being told by a group of replicants to kill Deckard, the person he thought was his father, so he doesn't lead Wallace back to Anna, Deckard's actual daughter. It's here where Kay finally takes control of his situation. He decides to give himself purpose and do what he feels is right by saving Deckard with a last act of self-sacrifice, giving Anna a chance to meet her father, the memory Kay would have wanted to have.
All those moments will be lost in time, like tears in rain.
As humans, we want to matter. We want our lives to have an effect, or a meaning, or just to simply be able to exist. The best example that inhabits this is Roy Batty, a replicant with a short lifespan that is fighting to exist. He doesn't want money, power, or to overthrow humans.
I want more life, Father.
He's a character driven by his emotions of anger against his creator for having been given such a short life, and of fear for not knowing how much time he has left.
You were made as well as we could make you.
But not to last.
The emotions he feels are what anyone at death's door would experience, but he refuses to go away silently into the night and fight for his existence. Surprisingly, Roy's last act is not of vengeance or violence. He saves Deckard and sits in the rain with him, waiting for his last moments.
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe.
Like any human being facing mortality, he was worried that his memories would go unnoticed, that he would just disappear and be forgotten. But at the end, he actually does get his wish. If he would have killed Deckard, Roy would have died alone, without anyone to hear his last words. By saving Deckard, he gets to live past his expiration date by imparting his memories and his humanity onto someone else. Memories, emotions, and agency are how the world of Blade Runner shows humanity. Without memories, we don't have a past. And without a past, we don't have an identity. Without emotions, we have no way to connect or react to the people around us. And without agency, we're just an empty vessel at the service of other forces, waiting for purpose. This video is kindly sponsored by Squarespace, and today they're offering you, our viewer, 10% off your first purchase when you start your free trial to build your own website at squarespace.com/screened using the offer code SCREENED. Choose from a variety of beautiful templates that will look great on a desktop or on a mobile phone. We are currently using Squarespace to build our own website, screenchannel.com. We just recently added a new page that shows what we use to make our videos. Take a look if you're feeling curious. Best of all, Squarespace is an all-in-one platform, so you never need plugins, updates, or patches, ever. And you don't need to know coding to make your own website. So if you're an illustrator, musician, filmmaker, writer, or podcaster, check out squarespace.com/screened to start your free trial, so you can display your work in a customized and personal way. Embolden your work or hobbies by giving it an official looking place for your fans or clients to follow and contact you. Try it out and see what you can make with a 14-day free trial. Again, that's squarespace.com/screened. Offer code SCREENED. Thank you for taking the time to watch our video. We invite you to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so yet. I hope you've enjoyed our third installment into the loss of humanity in dystopian movies, and please let us know what other movies we should add to it next. Today's musical composition was made by Eduardo Gonzalez, and if you like what he does, then please check out his information down in the description. Also, if you wish to support our channel so we can keep making videos just like this one, then please check out our Patreon page. Until next time.